now.
Okay, dear. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations, everyone. We have made it past our first week. I want to take this moment to just congratulate the entire team for beasting it through week one. In my opinion and in my experience, week one is normally the toughest. Now we're on day 8, which is new beginnings. Okay, we've literally made it through the first veil, that one of the first veils in our body with regard to purification and this fasting experience. So listen, I know a lot of you guys, either on this call or who are participating in this, have never done an extended fast before, let alone just 7 days on water. So, my hat's off to you. We still got 2/3 more to go, but all we have to do is just continue to stay in gratitude, keep it one day at a time, and everything is going to be fine. I feel really good right now. My only, again, me personally, and we can, as the day go, obviously we'll get everybody else's opinion, but just to let you guys know about me personally, I haven't experienced any. It's physically, I'm fine. I'm great. I feel really good. I've been sleeping like a baby, resting, doing all that stuff. Again, my biggest obstacles have always been emotional. I'm the type of person that gets bored easily because I'm an extrovert. I like being around people. I like working. I like bugging out. I like, being in the mix. That's just my personality. So I get bored easily. So now, like that's why I'm on Facebook a lot, posting all those messages because it keeps me sort of engaged, and I don't fall into that boredom trap, or I get lonely, or I get just some disempowering emotion. So, and again, everybody else will be able to share theirs, but for me, my biggest challenge has always been emotional, because physically, this ain't nothing. I mean, I'm straight. I don't experience the detox symptoms anymore, or not even weakness. I'm cool, you know. But everybody, we're all at different levels. Mine is emotional. So, before we get into the Q&A or in the feedback, obviously, I'm gonna take a few minutes just to share some wisdom, and also just just keep talking. Q&A, right? Before the Q&A. This is like my monologue before we really go all out and just make it happen. But I know you guys like this part, because every time I do it, you're getting something new. You're getting something, wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. Well, we're on day 8. And let me tell you something, guys. The great thing about day 8 is that the number 8 represents the new beginnings, okay? It's funny because we're in the month of October now, and the month of October is known as the month of 8. The prefix OCT literally means 8. It's the number 8. October is the month of 8, new beginnings, new ideas, prosperity. In China, the Chinese recognize, but their lucky number is 8. Okay, 8 is powerful. The number 8 is powerful. And it's funny because if you look at the number 8, well, since we're on the 5th day of the month of October, the number 5 represents the number of grace. The number 5 is the number of His grace, right? So, in correlation to what we were talking about earlier with regard to the number 40, it takes 8 fives, or 8 cycles of grace, to hit that number 40, which is perfection. Or you can look at it this way: 5 plus 8 is 13, which is perfection. Okay, that's how this thing works. That's how this thing works. And so 8 is powerful. And the fact that we're on the 5th of the month, which is the number of grace, is even more fascinating. I'm a big reader of books, all types of books, but I found it interesting. Since we're on Sunday, I'll talk a little bit about as far as the number 8, and just take the Bible for instance. Like there are 40 different authors who wrote the Bible, right? But check this out: out of the 66 books in the Bible, 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament, 32 of the authors wrote the Old Testament. And guess what? 8 authors wrote the New Testament. Again, New Testament, new beginning. There are only 8 authors that penned the New Testament. And it's funny because the scriptures, or the Bible, has 800,000 words total. 800,000 words. That number 8 is all over. Not only holy writings like the Bible, and I can just go real deep. I want you guys to know this also, if you don't already know. The number 8 is the number of Josephus, or some people call him Christos or Jesus. The number 8 is the number of Jesus or Jesus, the anointed one. That number 8, or his, in the Greek, they represent his name 888. We call it the 3 8s. That's what Josephus is, or Jesus, the anointed one. I always use Jesus as an example a lot of times because it's easier for people to relate. We just relate easier in our own way, however way, but that's why I use him always. It's not being religious or anything like that. That's just what it is. Remember, look, if you look at the game of pool, what's the most important and vital in the game of pool? What's the most vital ball in the game of pool? The 8 ball. There are 15 balls on the table. The centerpiece is always the most vital and the most important, and it's the 8 ball. The 8 ball. Something about the number 8. And the number 8 is the highest feminine number. The number 8 is the highest feminine number, and it's an extroverted number. It's an extroverted number. It's not an introverted number. It's an extroverted number. I'm what you would consider an extrovert. Don't get me wrong. I'm an extrovert who loves his alone time, and I can be secluded a lot. But I like people. I like to be out, because when I don't get that stimulation, or if I don't get that connection, I'm a very affectionate guy. So I even with my boys, my friends, I'm always hugging my boys and loving on them. I got 2 sons, right? I kiss and I hug my sons more than anybody. I'm just an affectionate guy. If I'm sleeping, if I'm with a girlfriend or a lover, we're hugging on her. I'm loved up on her. I'm an affectionate. I'm a touchy-feely guy. That's just me. Okay. Now, getting back to that number 8, Saturn, the planet Saturn, is the 8th planet from the sun, or as we say, the 8th rock from the sun. That's really important, guys. I think we talked about the 13 planets the other day and how they relate to the natural order of things, okay? Saturn is number 8, the first one. I won't go through the whole 13 like I did a couple days ago, but as we know, Mercury is number 1 for a reason. Mercury was the winged messenger. And you got Venus, and then we're on that 3rd rock from the sun, which is Gaia, or Earth, the goddess of all living things, the mother of all living things. And then you got the sun, who is the father of all living things, the father of lights, the sun. Okay. Scorpio in the astro. Man, I'm hitting all stuff. You say, Chris, you're going from this? Yeah, I am. Listen, Scorpio is related to the number 8. And the reason why I'm doing this, because every day I try to come up with something new to talk. So I figured, man, we're on the 8th day. This is a major achievement for most of us. Walking on water for 7 days is big. It's a big achievement. It's a good start. So just bear with me. Scorpio is related to the number 8. 8 is the number of financial security. Remember that this is important. 8 is the number of financial security. The number 28 is the number of wealth. So 28 is wealth. Or you can see 88. 88 is the number of wealth also. If you go down the line and you look at, like, say, the wealthiest men and women on the planet, we'll take Bill Gates. When is Bill Gates' birthday? October 28th. I can go Warren Buffett. I can go Michael Jordan. February. I can go on and on. But 28 is a powerful number. It is the number of wealth. Okay, and October is the 8th month. You say, well, August is the 8th month. Yes, August is the 8th month, but October is the number of 8. OCT means 8. So just wanted to, sort of give you that, I guess, little inspiration, just some wisdom. And like I try to mention this in all of my blogs, videos, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I've been doing what I do for about 6 years now. For 10 years, I was a really big producer in the world of high finance, selling investments, annuities, and life insurance for companies such as AIG, Chase, Zurich, World Finance, all over. And I was up here. I was a producer. I was a salesman. I would go out and I would talk to some days 500 or more people a day, face to face. I don't know anybody else who has the personality to do that. Not too many people. But I would always be usually the number 1 person in my company, and I'd win trips all over the U.S., even outside. But here's the thing. I left that world about 6 years ago to pursue my passion, which is what I'm doing, my calling, which is sharing the good news, which is health, which is living temple work, which is the road to life. You know, what leads to life? Air, fire, earth, and water. A few there be who find it. Well, you say, Chris, who find what? Who finds life? You know, and life consists of air, okay? Fire, meaning sun, earth, meaning plants, and water, okay? And as we go through this process, as we go through this demonstration of stripping through the inner veils and the mysteries of the human body, the temple of God, as we go through this process, you will start uptaking more stardust or hydrogen and less oxygen. So I don't have too much to talk about as far as the notes. Normally I come with a whole little stack of notes, to share with everybody. And I just want to applaud you again for staying faithful. The price of a breakthrough is walking on water for 21 days and 21 nights. So even when you guys call me, my heart goes out to you. But I get messages every day, Chris, I'm hurting or from somebody, and I understand that, and I feel you on that. But the reward, what little suffering you're going through right now, the reward is going to be 1,000 times greater. So just hang in there. Do not compromise. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just keep doing it, and it'll be okay. Okay? It's not as hard as we sometimes make it out to be. This is a beautiful process. You're being reborn of air and water. And there's no other way. There is no easy way, and there's no shortcuts. We all have to perform this. So if there's anybody out there who want to make a comment or have any questions, mic is yours. Go for it. Oh. Sky, did you want to? Before I started talking, I know you wanted to share with the team. So what's up? Sky, are you there? Or anybody? If you're not available, anybody else want to? I mean, hey guys, I got more notes. I can still talk. I can still go with more. But I figured, you guys wanted to say something.
Chris, it's Greg here. Okay. How
are you? Greg, I'm good, man. What's up?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was really pumped up yesterday, bud, when that rainbow hit me yesterday. I tell you what, that was for me a big sign, bro. A big sign that we're on the right track. But yeah. It was quite an experience considering us. After the call we had yesterday, I felt quite pumped up after that call. Got back to work. I was sitting in the office and it was raining all day, and I'd been thinking today, I've got to walk home and I'm worried about my immune system walking out in the cold weather and the rain. Because the water in the air. And anyway, we had the call, and I was pumped up. Got back to work and business, and then literally 15 minutes before my shift finished, heavens started to open up. I mean, I tell you, when I say it was raining, it looked like it was going to be relentless. It was getting for the whole week. Wow. Opened up just 15 minutes before my shift finished, and there was this powerful rainbow that I saw the little video I posted. But that video doesn't really do that rainbow justice, because I tell you what, just outside the window, and you could see quite clearly every single color, every 7 colors, all there. It was my colleague, myself, were literally heads out of the window at the office on the 3rd floor, and all taking pictures and videos of this rainbow. It was beautiful, and you could see the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blues, the light, and then the purple, indigo. It was fantastic. And then obviously I walked home and crisp, clean, fresh weather, and it's just I was really, really stoked, really on top of the world. But yeah, I had to share that. I was so full of joy from that experience. I couldn't really wait to to share it in the call today. I thought I'd rather get it out there online. I just wanted everybody to know that. I mean, I felt that was for me a little miracle on my seventh day. When I got up in the morning, I was like, okay, seventh day, we made it in 7 days. And then to have that rainbow appear when I've been talking about rainbows the whole week, so it's you, of course, I've been thinking about rainbows, just to have that there. Wow, it was a big thing for me. Today, on day 8, as you said earlier, I mean, new beginnings, I'm feeling that. I'm pretty emotional, I must be honest. Things are, I'm glad I plugged into the call now because that calmed me down a bit, but I can feel my energy a bit down still. And I'm hoping that I'm going to this week get some type of normality in my energy. I'm hoping that's going to plateau out or level out. But if it doesn't, I'm just gonna ride the waves of energy and ride it when it does come down. But when it does come down, it doesn't come down quickly. I'm getting up. In my case, I'm fine to operate. But I just feel emotionally quite drained. I don't know if that makes sense. I just feel emotionally, I feel quite drained. But then I just almost get shake my mind and say, come on, focus on the task at hand, focus on the prize, focus on that end line, that finish line, and just keep the faith. That keeps me through the emotional sort of downer I go through. I'm not having a physical downer as such; it's sort of an emotional downer I'm finding for myself. But I'll let the group continue. But that's my share today, mate.
Looks like we lost him.
Yeah, we did. We did, Doc.
I guess he'll be back in a few minutes. Hey, I wanted to say something, about your boosted energy levels. It's well documented that your growth hormone levels actually skyrocket while you're fasting. And in addition to that, fat as a fuel source is a lot more energy producing than glucose or sugar, which you normally would burn when you're not fasting. So there's a perfectly understood reason why you might have boosted energy levels.
Well, I do have a couple of little fat cells around my waistline that I'm pleased to say seem to be getting less. But if that's the case, I mean that's brilliant. What you just said, that makes so much sense to me. That makes sense because if I'm burning my fat now through the ketosis stage, and that's why I must have all this energy. I literally feel like I can go out and run a marathon, but I know I have to pace myself. But physically, I feel so strong. It's just unbelievable, incredible.
Greg, you know what? I saw that video you posted, the rainbow, and it was awesome, man. And if you said the reality was better than the video, I can only imagine. That was, and it's funny, it happened on the 7th day, Saturday, the blessed day. So,
well,
that's for sure. I enjoyed that video.
Pleasure. Just had to share it. I mean, I couldn't not share it. I was blown away by it. It was just unbelievable. For me, that's a sign. That's for me. Some people might just say that's just fate, the weather. But let me tell you, that's the first rainbow we've had. I've seen this year, and it's just what evidence that it happened. Day of my fasting. So I don't know. I don't believe that at all. I believe that's a sign. I'm on the right path and I'm doing the right thing for myself and my future. I'm going to continue, of course.
Absolutely, no doubt. And to sort of piggyback what Dr. Marcus just said with regard to the HGH, the human growth hormone, water fasting releases more human growth hormone. He was right than perhaps any one thing. It is truly the breast milk of Mother Nature. Things will expand throughout this process. HGH is released at a high level naturally. Monique, what's up, Ma? How you doing? Let me holler at me.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, how you
I'm
doing?
sorry. I'm good. I was a little sleepy this morning when I when I woke up. But I'm good. I'm feeling good. Yesterday was it was a little I think I was detoxing.
I saw you.
Took in, I had some lower back pain. Yeah, man. I had some lower back pains, and I know, you recommended having like doing like an enema or something during this time, but I haven't needed it. So, and it was pretty wild yesterday. So, today I woke up. Like I said, I woke up. I was a little sleepy. So, but I understand that I'm kind of going through some detox right now. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling good otherwise.
Well, that's what's up, man. Again, I want to congratulate you for, first of all, for making it 8 days on water and for staying focused even throughout the detox. You know, so my hat is off to you, and I rarely take it off. It's off to you right now. Thank you for sharing that. Let me holler at Natasha. Natasha, are you available? Natasha. We're paging Natasha.
I could jump in. I could jump in now if she's not available.
Yeah, come on, babe. We're listening. Yes, please do.
Okay. So Natasha mentioned that she has a problem with her mic, so she's probably gonna work that out. But for me, I've been having several different healing crises happening, and can you all hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this morning I woke up and my entire body has an all-over body rash, all red and all itchy. Very uncomfortable. All in my face, under my eyes, my legs, my arms, my chest, everything. I also started in the middle of the night. My glands started swelling in my neck, under my armpits, or under my armpits, my groin area, and I also have 2 pimples on my tongue, and my elbows. My elbows are like, you know how like the elbows are where you like put your little moisturizer. They're like dry and just super dry, like real like dry. They just became dry. And then I was scratching my head yesterday, like like you're pondering a thought, and it started snowing.
Wow.
It was like, whoa! All this stuff started flying out of my hair. So that's what I'm dealing with. So I don't feel that energy that Greg feels. I'm just moving through it, and it's cool. I mean, it's not super comfortable, but it's not unbearable either. So that's my story.
First of all, thanks for sharing that, Sky. And I'm going to tell you this. Once we remineralize on day 22 and beyond, that a lot of your hormones and all that imbalance is going to rebound. It's going to regulate. And actually, most of it's going to do it throughout this 21-day process. But yeah, that's what's up. That's good. Thanks for sharing that. Then you can do is just keep going and drinking the water, as I know you will. You know what?
One more thing I forgot to add.
Yes, please do.
Also, my breasts feel really heavy. They almost feel like they're full of milk, like when you're nursing.
Oh yeah.
And they just. Oh, you know about that, Chris?
Well, let me tell you, let me tell you, my son's mama, right? When we were together like 14 years ago, Well, we were out one day and we forgot the breast pump to get the breast milk out, right? Well, guess who had to be my son, and, and my son wasn't around in order to relieve her of her pressure. Me, so I understand. Come on, Scott,
Oh
keep
my
talking.
goodness. That
Yeah,
is too funny. So anyway, yeah, so that's another one of my symptoms.
okay.
All right.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing, Scott. Well, I appreciate that. You know what, Doc? You want to, yeah, come on with it, Doc. I
No,
see you want to share some.
I just wanted to say something to Sky about the breast. That there's a ton of lymphatic tissue also in the breast. I know you've never cut one open. I have, and so your other lymph nodes are draining. There's lymph nodes in the breast, and let me tell you, that's probably a good thing for you because that may be a causative agent for breast cancer in women. When that lymph kind of sits there and it kind of pulls, and you have toxic material there, that probably is a risk factor for breast cancer. So by you draining that tissue, that probably goes away from the risk. You know, it probably decreases the risk.
And Sky, I wanted to say I thought that was just because I nursed my little girl until this year, and I thought it was just residual because I had the same feelings the other day, the very same ones, and I thought it was just phantom, feeling like because I was near a baby and all that stuff, but now I know what that was. So thanks for sharing that.
Cool, cool.
No doubt. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Doc. Um, I see. You know what? I see Van, and Van is in the house. What's up, Van? How you doing, baby? Congratulations for beasting day 8.
Oh God, thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I just want to thank you, Chris, and you, Sky, and the group. Doc, good to see you back. You
Doc
know,
is back.
yeah, the doctor, good doctor is back. The real Doctor Love is here. Doctor Meekins. Yeah, thanks everybody for your support. Without your support, I doubt if I would be this far along because I was making my son some fish cakes last night, and boy, those parasites or cravings or whatever you want to call it was really on my behind last night, boy. I'm telling you, I mean, it took everything for me. I made him the most beautiful salad. I mean, it had a little feta cheese and it was gorgeous. Like the way I hooked it up and mixed it up. And I mean, it was something just saying, go ahead, take the smallest fish cake. Nobody got to know. Just between you and me. And I mean, it took you, it took the group, it took Sky, it took everybody, everybody in the group that was like right there watching saying, no, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And I mean, I toughed it out, and I fed him, and I just drank my water, and I thank God, and I just want to commend everybody here. We all have ironclad courage, like you guys have firefighter courage. This is ridiculous right here. This is like a firefighter. You have courage, y'all. So just stay in there. It's all good. We're gonna do this together.
Van,
We're gonna do
first
this
of all,
together.
thanks for you. Hey, listen, thanks for sharing that, baby. And I want to just sort of piggyback on what you said about the firefighter courage, like beast courage. Bro, peep this. A lot of people may not know this, but if you were to go to a regular fasting retreat, an average fasting retreat, to
Right.
do just a 2-week water fast, right? The average cost for just 2 weeks at a regular fasting retreat is about $2,000 to $2,500 for just 2 weeks. Okay,
Right. Right.
that's not So you pay at least $1,000 to $1,500 just for a week. Okay, obviously you're gonna be pampered a little bit more. So
Mhm.
I want to applaud everybody because we're beasting it without we're just doing this on pure will and inspiration. Without all the pampering that comes with that. So it takes a lot, but it's something that's totally necessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for each and every person on this call as
Yeah.
well, man. And Van,
Everyone.
no doubt, man, because I know it's not easy. But I tell people all the time, I've been saying this for years now in all of my blogs and videos that I've ever done for a long time, for a long time. I've always said that the things that I share with people, or the post or whatever, if you guys ever get a chance to read them, and I highly recommend them, they're the keys to life. They're not easy to implement. It takes self-discipline to do it. Everything that I ever say, or all this stuff, is going to take a measure of discipline to activate, to do a self-love. All discipline is loving yourself. And so that's what, the things that I talk about, they're the keys, but it's going to take some self-love to walk it.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily easy, but it's worth it. And the reward is always greater, much greater than the price. But there is a price.
Yeah.
And the price is usually simply patience. It's an emotional price. It's really not even a physical price. It's an emotional price. Just being patient. Let patience have her perfect work and enjoy the process. Yeah. You're going to get all the pleasure. You're going to get all the pleasure you need. And fulfillment. It'll come a little bit after. You're going to, so go through a little emotional upheaval short term for the long term pleasure, because we're all hedonists. I haven't met a human being that's not a hedonist, that don't love more pleasure than discomfort. I haven't met one. But the key is to be a righteous hedonist, where you pay a little emotional toll, discomfort, for the long term pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man.
Amen. Amen.
Thanks for that, baby. No doubt.
Firefighter courage. Firefighter courage.
That's real.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, can I say something too? I think it's an honor to be a part of the group. Just think about it. A week ago, none of us really knew each other, and we're coming from different parts of the world, and we kind of clicked and bonded, right away. And we're helping each other. We're encouraging each other. We're contributing different pieces of information. One piece of information may help one person. Another person may contribute a piece that helps another person. This is something that you just don't get to see every day, in my experience. And I just want to put this thought out there. What if we took it to another level? I mean, I know it's an ideal, but just imagine if we all lived around each other and we were growing food and we were sharing the food that we grew and some of the other things. Just imagine how different the world would be if we function as one consciousness, approaching one goal. And that's what we're doing now. We all have the same goal. We're all unified in the effort. And feel the energy in the group. I mean, it's tangible. You can all see it. I don't have to tell you about it. It's something you can see and you can experience yourself,
I actually think it's beneficial that we all live in separate places, because, we look at this. We're all together on Hangout. We all come together every day. We're in different locations, and our energy spreads wide. Like, if we were all in the same community, I hear what you're saying, but if we were all together, we would be like in that section, and the world that we live in wouldn't benefit from us, because we are all the example of what we're doing. Like, in about another couple weeks or so, there's going to be this whole new you, and everybody's going to be, like we were talking about yesterday, Chris, they're going to be attracted to you, because there's going to be something about you that's going to be evident of what we're doing. So, like, Sky's in Puerto Rico, Chris is in Arizona, I'm not sure where everyone else is. I'm in New York, and as we spread our love across the planet, in my opinion, it's like we're like generators all over. Maybe we're designed like in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Certain people were called, and they were called from all over the world. And something about that. Like, if I'm in New York and somebody's in Puerto Rico, somebody's in Arizona, somebody's in England. There's a couple people from England. Like, this is like spread out purposely for a reason, is what I think. I just gotta believe that, because we all came together. It wasn't an accident.
Not at all.
Why didn't all of us from New York or Arizona come together? I think we all need to be in separate parts of the world for that to make something to change. I think God's trying to save the earth. Maybe we're part of that. I don't know.
We are, and that's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is, man. That's exactly what it is.
I gotta
God
believe
is trying to save the earth. and people are waking up, and you need light workers to go out and do the work, and that's exactly what we're doing. Dr. Marcus, we talked about this yesterday with Sky as far as us all coming together as a community, even after the fast. So this 21, 28-day journey is going to extend past this. It's going to extend much faster. So yeah, you're right, baby. It's going to become like a community.
Right.
This is going to get much. Yeah, that's good. That's exactly what we're doing. But it's funny, just like Van was just saying, how all of us, we're all over the place. We got people from Australia on here, from England, the UK, Puerto Rico, NYC, and all over. Chicago, Oregon, Portland. So, that's what it is, Van. That's what God is literally trying to wake people up. Because here's the thing, guys. Either you're going to be meek. Now, the word meek means the learned ones. The meek shall inherit the earth. He's just trying to wake people up so you don't have to experience a lot of the consequences that are coming down the pike.
Right.
That's the purpose of this blood moon in 72 hours. All it is a calling to prepare and to help as many people usher in the new age. The year 2020 represents the year of clear vision. I can see clearly now. 2020, baby. And that's only 9 years removed before 2029, which is when this thing goes full throttle. So, my man, that's real. That's real. Yeah. Natasha, baby, are you mic'd up? Are you back with us? Thanks, Van. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
No doubt. No doubt. That's good, man. I get so much from this. Doc.
Hey, can I ask one quick question now? And I hope Natasha, will be able to get on. But I was kind of intrigued by her post yesterday when she said she had the heightened sense of smell and she could kind of smell the city and she could kind of smell different individuals. And I remember reading about fasting before in the past that some people claim to have heightened extrasensory perception. And I know for myself, I definitely have a sense of clairvoyance sometimes. A heightened sense of intuition. Sometimes I can know things without physically knowing them. I can hear things without hearing it. I'll get a thought, and then a few minutes later or a day later, I'll find out that the thing has happened, And I wanted to just ask the people in the group, have they experienced any more vivid dreams? Have they experienced anything that they might perceive as a heightened sense of perception?
Hey, Dr. Hey, Dr. Meekins, welcome back, and yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Saying, as much as I agree, I sense that too. Like this, yeah. I mean, I kind of myself, I guess, get that clairvoyance sort of thing going on. You know what I mean? It's more than that. Like that. It's interesting, speaking on that concept as well that you guys are talking about this now, coming from Australia. I just when you guys are up and it's 10 a.m., I mean, it doesn't mean it's 10 a.m. right where everyone is right now, but around that time, where everyone's at, if you know what I mean, it's like 10 p.m. my time. So, and with that question, I wonder, in that whole concept of what you guys were just talking about, and I have been wondering. Yeah, Tasha's back. I think that I wonder on that concept of what we were just talking about, that whether you were talking about, Chris, the moon, the blood moon, right?
Yes.
And I wonder, in different, it's not different, but the hemisphere side of things, because I'm literally down under, you know what I mean? So when the blood moon's hanging out or whatever it's doing, is it the sun here? And that's my question to you. I mean, does anyone know, or also speaking and elaborating later on the concept of what Dr. Meekins was talking about too.
Claire, can you re-ask the question for me, please?
Oh, my bad. I mean, talking about perceptions within reality and reality within perceptions in my subject of what I'm trying to say is like with the different hemispheres, is in like there's no different hemispheres in the spiritual metaphysical form, and that's what I feel. But in saying that, when you were talking about the blood moon,
Yeah.
right, Chris? Yeah, okay. And then blood moon, I have a question in that. Is that because it is? I mean, in the reality sense, if you want to take it to that plane, it's like we have. You guys will have the blood moon, but it will be the moon, like it'll be nighttime for y'all, right?
Yes.
Okay, but over here it would be daytime, correct? And depending on the different days, right? And then, so what my question is, about that. You know what I mean? What I mean is, my question is like, what is it the same thing, or is it like going to be the sun that's coming through on my end?
No. That's a good question, Claire. Maybe you're the longest asking this question person I've ever known. I'm just joking. Listen, maybe you took 5 minutes to ask that question, but I'm gonna answer it right now. You're gonna because of the time zone difference. People in Australia or in the UK, you'll see it. You'll either see it the night before when it's dark, when it's nighttime, your time, or that night, whenever that night. But so it won't be like if it's daytime in your scenario, it won't. You'll just see it at a different time, and you can Google it for the specific time. I know here in the United States, about 2:30 Eastern time in the morning of the 8th, and it's going to actually happen on the 8th. Can you believe it's going to be on the 8th day as well? It means a lot because that's 2/8. That's the 2/8. Not only is the 8th day, but it's in the month of October. That signifies a lot. There's a reason for that. But so here it's going to be like 2:30 Eastern time in the morning. Now there you're going to be able to see the blood moon. I don't know the actual time, but if you Google blood moon, it'll show that for your time span. That's a good question, Clara. Maybe you took 5-10 minutes to ask it, but it's a great question.
I just kind of elaborate and make it quick, but you know what I mean.
I'm just hacking it. Thank you so much, Claire.
Yeah, cool. No problem.
No doubt.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, Natasha, we can hear you.
Okay, I had to do a workaround, but it's good. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Yesterday was into today has been a really great transition. Like after our call, I said I was going to do a colonic, and I did that, and I had an interesting conversation with the person who was working with me, and one of the things he asked, he said, why am I doing this 21-day water fast? And this is a person who really is in holistic healing. He said he's done juice fasts, but he's never done a water fast. And I said, it was just my time to do that, to get clear around certain things. And it started off as a cloudy, rainy day, and then all of a sudden the sun came out. And I noticed how I happened to be in Brooklyn, and I had some errands to run, and I was running those errands, and how people were just kind of like busy, but not present. And people were like all in the midst of shopping because it's Saturday, or running because it's Saturday, or going to the park because it's Saturday, or doing whatever it is because it's Saturday, not really being present and enjoying the moment. And I was sitting in the parking lot at Costco, and I saw like 3 people get into fights over parking spaces. And when I pulled in, there was a parking space. I was like, it's not that serious. It's prepackaged food you're going to get. It's not going anywhere. What you should be doing is running to some orchard someplace, to get something fresh. But I started laughing at myself because I recognized that I was exactly where they used to be. Where they are. I used to exactly be there. And this morning, I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the early service at church, and so I could be back in time for the call. And when I got to church, I remember today is Harvest Sunday, right? It's the day that we celebrate bringing in the harvest. So that's a later service. And then I get on the call with you, and you mentioned that you had said this in the email, that we're celebrating like 8, that highest power, and today being October 5th, and all of that came together. I was like, oh, there's no coincidence that all of this kind of, crazy energy and people just like are in a gathering phase, that people are trying to grab for something, but they're not clear about what they're grabbing for. They're not clear about what they're trying to reap in. They're not clear about what they're sowing. And, I'm very clear about the seeds that I'm sowing. I'm very clear about the harvest that I want to reap, for myself, for my family, for my life. And this is just really a blessing for me to have. So that's all I want to share. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Natasha. First of all, thank you. And since you're from Brooklyn, I gotta say this: is Brooklyn in the house? Listen, what you mentioned with regard to the harvest and was absolutely real. And I want to tell you, with regard to your holistic friend who was like, "Why are you doing a 21-day fast?" I found in my experience that I'm friends with the owner of the #1 raw vegan restaurant here in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's the Raw Vegan Cafe. The owner's name is Chef Sarah. She's been a fully raw, 100% raw vegan for like 15 years, 17 years. And she doesn't believe in water fasting at all. The woman, my friend, the colon therapist, my ex-girlfriend, who's been fully raw for about 15 years, she gave me about 20 colonics in 13 months. She's not a believer in water fasting. So, and there are people, a lot of people in the holistic, they're not, they don't. Well, in my opinion, I'll say my opinion for that is because, again, water fasting takes you to the lowest level so that you can be exalted to the highest level, and a lot of people just can't get out of that food trap. So they'll do a juice fast, which is great. It's a level of healing, but you're gonna have to go through that gate. You're gonna have to go through the waters. But I've noticed that too, that a lot of people, even in the holistic realm, they're not really sold on water fasting. #1, because they haven't done it. It goes both ways, but that's not unusual in my experience. That's why I always say you do exactly what you're doing, and what many of us, or if not all of us on this call is doing, just listening to our own call and listen to our hearts, and and performing it. So thanks, Natasha, for that. Is there anybody else that would like to add anything?
Most welcome.
Who's the new? I see somebody new on this call, a female. Can you state your name and just would like to add something? I see a new.
There's not a new face anymore.
She
Yeah,
left. She's out.
yeah.
She did. Okay. Well, Kev, I haven't heard from you, man. What's up, baby?
Man, I'm just going through it, man. You know
I know
me.
you.
I'm
Go ahead, man.
listening and I'm staying strong. I got this.
I know you do, man. Hey, you're a beast, man. My hat is off to you, bro. Hat is off to you, baby.
Yeah. It's a price to pay.
Not about it. You'll be glad you did it, man. We'll be hanging out. You'll be glad you did it.
That's what's getting me through it, man.
You really will, man. You got my respect, baby. I know it's not easy. When I was 22, I wasn't thinking of doing nothing like this. So I applaud you. You're starting young. That's good. That's real good. I'm 40 years young, Kev. I'm 18 years your senior. And, I started in business at 23, but I wish I would have been doing this at your age. You are doing the right thing. Make no mistake about that. Listen, dude, I'm 40 years young. I'm 18 years older. I think I started in business when I was 23, but if I knew what I knew at 22, oh God, you're getting the good stuff at 22.
Yeah.
Man, you don't know how blessed you are, Joe. Word is born. You don't know how blessed you are. Word life.
Born.
You know. So,
Yeah.
come on with it, man. You're in a good place, baby. No doubt.
Yeah.
You're in a good place. This is coming from a 40-year young guy who can still rock with the best of them. To me, 40 is young. I'm just getting started. Don't get it twisted. Got a long way to go. So, hang in there.
I agree with that comment. I wish I knew 20 years ago too. It would have made a big difference.
Yeah.
No
We
doubt,
support you,
no
Kev.
doubt.
We support you, man. We support you, Kevin.
Yeah,
Because I
man.
tell you, I'm 49, so I'm almost 10 years older than
Son, you look 19, dog.
Yeah,
I love you
man.
guys.
Man, you don't look. You're 49.
I'm 49.
You don't even look 40, man. You don't. You look,
Well, I tell
seriously.
you, I used to really take care of myself. Never really did the extended water fast, but there was a period in my life where something said I had to eat better because I used to drink a 2 liter of Coca-Cola with dinner every night, and I
Wow.
would get sick. I would get sick like every week, so I knew something was wrong. Then there was one sexual experience I had with a girl that I really liked, and I couldn't achieve an erection. So I was walking around dead because, me as the type of guy I was, I was
That's a
very
man's wake-up call.
yes,
That's the
yes,
ultimate wake-up call. Yeah.
yes. I mean, when that happened to me, that all bets are off. So I was like, something's got to change. So I started drinking water, I started eating better, exercising, and just instinctively just taking better care of myself. And I don't know, it's like I never kind of looked my age at that point. And I was so grateful. But like Kevin, I mean, I'm even 9 years older than our teacher here, and which age doesn't mean. So, but you got the benefit of like 18 years senior to Christopher and 27 years senior to me. And let me tell you, if I knew what I knew at your age, I,
Oh,
I'm
man.
I'm so, I'm so impressed that a young man as yourself has the firefighter courage. That's my new mantra to take this on because it's like
Yeah.
it's so easy to be with the crowd. It's so easy to say, I did my 5 days. I'm gonna go out and get a burger. I'm done with this.
Nah.
And you are very mature, and you're kind of going through it. Like it hasn't been an easy
I've been
path.
I've been
I
to
give
war, man.
I give you all the
I'm,
praise. I give it up.
Man.
yeah. I'm just saying I've been through some pretty messed up conditions. Like I just feel like if I went through that, I can go through this. You know. I've been overseas and stuff. I served this government's evil ways, and you know what I'm saying. If I could do that, I could do this. This is for the better. That was for the worse. But that was for the better too, because it was learning experience to me. So yeah.
That's real talk, man. Kevin, that's real talk. Man, that's real talk. Which I wouldn't have never guessed your age, bro. Wow.
Thank
Look
you,
good,
man. I
man.
appreciate
Look at me.
that.
Look, I can relate real quick. I can relate to what you said about the. That's one of the things that made me. This was about 10 years ago. I got to tell you guys this, man. I was with a beautiful woman, right? And
Right.
the game was on, but I couldn't participate. And I'm only
Right.
29, 30 at the time, and I'm like, and she's ready and willing.
Yes.
And then I found out that meat and processed food and all that stuff causes impotency and all of that. Well, the moment I found that out, I cut all that stuff out. I haven't even looked back. And guess what? It's the truth, man. Because I'm full throttle and I've been for years now, but I remember that, man. And if
Yeah.
that don't motivate a guy to get things right,
Oh my
I
God.
don't know what is. Because
I
for
don't know what
men,
it is.
I don't know of a more pleasurable, happiest, joyous thing than being with the woman of their lover interest, their woman. And
Yeah.
when a man can't perform when a woman's ready and willing, there isn't a bigger ego thing. There isn't a bigger motivation to get things right. And I didn't want to feel that embarrassment and that pain ever again. You know what I'm saying? That's too much pain for me. That's too embarrassing. So thanks for sharing that. I think more men really need to hear that. If they don't get their diets right, if they're drinking a lot of refined sugar, and especially bringing a lot of animal sacrifices into the temple, meat or fish, you're gonna go through that, and you don't want that because it's too embarrassing and it don't make you feel good. You know, eating plants is manly. Eat from the tree of life, and then you will keep that manhood, and it'll be full throttle all the time, and then you will please the woman who you're with. You're with. That's the only way you please them. That's, you don't want to. They like that's just a woman. So thank you.
Thank you.
I can relate.
Thank you.
Years, but I remember that. That was a pain I never wanted to go back to.
That was my motivator. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. Is there maybe someone? Come on, women, say something.
Well, I'm just enjoying how all of you men are like really being open and vulnerable and sharing that experience. Because from, just being a woman on the other side of that, it's so easy to say, oh, how women talk. It's easy to put a man down in that position, but it's more powerful to be supportive and really get that it's not a great place for a man to be, especially if that's a part of who he identifies his power and his love and his self-expression from. And just to hear you guys like openly share about that, even with all the women on the call, like we're not here, it's amazing. And I cannot begin to commend you all for really that kind of love that you're expressing on the call. So thank you for that. And that just lets me know that any man in my life, that it's my duty to really see to it that he lives a healthy lifestyle. It's not just for him, but for me, for our family, just for everything that we create. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you for that too. Thank you, Natasha, for saying what you just said. And that's real talk, though. That is real talk. If you know what, I noticed something, man. I'm not a TV watcher, but I've watched more TV probably in the last week than I've done all year. But guess what? You know what the number one commercials that I see on TV like all the time? I'm like, damn. All I see is drug commercials and commercials for ED, erectile dysfunction, like Viagra or Cialis. And that's all dietary. People are just, it's our lifestyle. So, thanks, Natasha. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and
actually, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to ditto what Natasha said about, you guys being open and vulnerable. Like yesterday, like Chris was saying, like I've been trying to come off of TV, but yesterday I was watching what's her name? Ayanna Van Zandt. She did a show about men and who have like a million kids with a million women or whatever. But one thing I noticed was that like men, are so broken and they don't really have a safe space to share, the stuff that's wrong with them, and it just really is encouraging to hear you guys talk, and especially since as women, we've been talking about our boobs and our cycles and all this other type of stuff, and it's just kind of like, it's good to hear you guys share in that, we all, as men and as women, are sharing these things that, in other circles, with people who have known each other for the amount of time that we've known each other, would be embarrassing, really, to talk about, and done it with such ease and just, with no judgment and nobody's cringing or anything like that. So I just want to thank you guys too for being very open about that. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, I'm putting on workshops pretty soon for men about, because I took up herbology for a little while ago with metaphysics a little bit, and I go by the herbal name of Brother Nature. So what I do is I used to give workshops for men about my experience. Like I would openly talk about it, And I'm not alone. That's Christopher, pointed out. It happened to him, and it happens. And men don't understand, what it really is. And there are certain herbs that you can, sort of prescribe, quote unquote. But I always said it takes a cleansing. You got to detox. You can't just take the herbs for a week and then it happens. You got to detox your body. You got to nourish your body with the right stuff. You got to hydrate. And it's so funny, hydrate, alkalize. So it's like now I can implement a fast in that as well. So when I get my next workshop, I'm going to mention what we did, mention Christopher, mention Skyju, and point these people in that
Yeah.
direction, But that's it. I had enough time. So you guys go ahead.
Come here. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Christopher, you have a person on here who hasn't had a chance to speak yet. The person you were asking about before. Chris?
Chris. Dr. Meekins, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, guys. Sorry to interrupt you. While Christopher's away and when he comes back, I just want to say, if I may, I agree totally with what all the guys and girls are saying and everyone is saying, because on the subject we just last talked about, I feel that, as a woman, that, it's actually the same thing, between the men and the women. It's just, have different organs per se, I mean, that's my sense around it. So anyway, I think Christopher's coming back soon, I would hope. Anyway, so
He just left the call, so he'll be right back.
Okay. I don't know. Filling out wasting tape, not wasting tape. Anyone else got something to say? Hey, hang on.
Well, really quickly, guys, I'm going to drop off now. I just want to thank everyone. Have a great rest of your day. I will be on the call tomorrow. I'm about to head out to church now. All right. Bye, guys.
Have fun.
Bye, Tasha.
Peace. Have a good day. Cool.
Sky, are you there? Sky? There's Chris. I think Christopher's back now. Can you hear?
Yes, Doc, I could hear. Okay.
No, the person you were asking about before, I think, is online. I think she had some trouble, but Ma, can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Hey, Doc. Okay, go ahead, babe. I lost connection. So I had to dip for a couple minutes. Doc, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, baby. I
was just trying to get to the person that we missed that didn't get a chance to speak, but I don't know if she has audio or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I keep seeing her avatar, her picture, but yeah, you're right about the
Maybe
audio.
she's in the chat.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you too.
Blessings, everyone.
We can't hear you.
The microphone is muted.
Yeah, you gotta.
Maya just said blessings, everyone. I can hear her.
Yeah.
Hey, Vera doesn't have audio, but she asked a question just a few minutes ago, and she directed it to you, Chris. Did you see it? I can read it if you can't see it.
Hey, Doc, can you read it for me because I can't see it?
Okay, it says, this is from Vera. She says, Sky, can you tell Chris I spoke to a doctor yesterday? She is holistic, but she said she always worried water fasting would lead to an eating disorder. Can you comment, please?
Oh, God. Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Wow. That's not true. That's not true. Matter of fact, water fasting will heal eating disorders. Most people, I don't know too many people that don't have an eating disorder. And if they water fasted, that it would break that cycle of overeating and being so linked to their emotions. You know, most doctors, even holistic doctors, they've never done an extended water fast because they fear it or they don't understand it. So that's not true. Hey doc, will you talk? Just let it know. No, that's not true.
Okay, and then let me underscore what you said as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So we all know that we have a brain in our heads, but most of us don't realize that we also have a bigger brain in our gut. In addition to having a brain in our gut, you have what's called flora, or natural bacteria that belong there. And depending on your diet, you can have a mixture of poor bacteria. And that poor bacteria can actually influence your thoughts and your behavior in a parasitic fashion. So by fasting, what you do is you allow your body to cleanse itself and balance out that gut flora. And we're not talking just a little bit of flora. We're talking about 6.5 pounds of gut flora that has its own genome, its own DNA, that kind of functions in a synergistic way with our own natural DNA. So it's absolutely important for them to survive. Their survival and our survival are one. If something happens to that flora, then something bad happens to the body. So in terms of eating disorders, you want to fast, you want to cleanse. So I don't agree with that holistic doctor. That sounds like they're talking from not from experience. I would say the exact same thing that you said, Kristopher. That fasting is going to be something that goes away from having an eating disorder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, doc. That was good, doc. Thank you so much. It's good. Really good.
Chris, sorry.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
just want to say, we can talk about it another time, but Candida, we talked about that before. That is definitely something that most people are thought to have, and the medical community doesn't really address it at all. Most people are thought to have it, and we're pretty convinced that it causes harmful effects in the body, but it's not something that's widely talked about or even researched in the open. Okay, go ahead, Claire.
Yeah, sorry to interject. It was just that I think there's a delay here. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Claire. Absolutely.
Can you hear me clearly though? Because I got
Yes.
told my audio was breaking up.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, cool. I also have a question on that note in relation to also what Vera brought up. And since everyone's being so open here, let's bring it to the table, right? So my question is either to Doc or Chris or both of y'all or anyone out there that has some information in regards to this. I actually am intending to go to have some colonics done tomorrow. Now that's pretty personal, but I'm just going to put it out there. And knowing that we're all, and I have been also on, what are we on, day 8? Actually, I'm not actually counting. That's my feeling behind it, because if I count, going off subject, on the day fast sort of thing, the water fast, then I'm gonna lose it. You know what I mean? But anyway, getting back to my question, I'm a little bit concerned about opening up, which I feel I shouldn't be doing. On that note about talking to my naturopath / herbalist / therapist, iridologist, whatnot, about being on this water fast right now. I feel like I should completely. I'm not saying that maybe I should or should. I don't know. I mean, I trust her with what she's doing with the therapy of the colonic side. I feel comfortable with that because it's the process of doing it. It's not completely comfortable, but I think it's necessary to do. And I've done it before, so it proves to me that people are really scared on that topic about it. They're like, oh, what happens? And that's really a scary thing or even a gross thing to talk about. But it's kind of a question, I guess I have to trust my own intuition with that and say, I don't think I'm going to tell her, because if I did or didn't, and say because I've decided that I'm not going to, I'm a little bit afraid, right? Just speaking generally here, whether she's going to step up and say, you know what, I can't do this, and I actually need it done. I'm not fibbing here. I do need it done. You know that, and I think you only know when you experience. I'm not just talking about colonics, but you know when you experience something. I guess it's also experimentation.
Claire,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me
Go
just
ahead,
say
Chris.
that, baby, you're the longest questioners asking this person that I've ever known, but I love them. I'm just
I
acting on you.
know, right?
You are,
Man,
Claire.
you're cool. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. Yeah. Huh?
Claire, your colon therapist works for you. You know what I'm saying? And if she don't want to do your colonic because you tell her you fasting, next, bye. Get
Yeah.
another colon therapist. Bye bye.
That's true, man. That's true.
I'm putting you get a colonic. Listen, I've had over a 13-month period. I had about 20 to 25 colonics at one time when I first started about 9 years ago. And your colon therapist works for you. You run this show. You roll up in there and just do it. You got to, you know, if you feel like you want to tell her, go for it. You know, and if not, then go for it. And if she give you any attitude or try to dissuade you, I'm taking my $70, however much it costs for that colonic, and go to find somebody who's better. Fire her butt if she don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Because she works for you.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
and
you got to
agree.
Yeah, go ahead, babe. Yeah, no doubt. I'm
It's
listening.
just, yeah, it's all good. It's just that I'm confused on as to whether like I forget what I was saying. Anyway, I'll come back to that because I've lost that train of thought. So.
It's all good. It's all good, Claire. Day 8. You made it this far, so I'm loving you for that. Hey guys, is there anybody else that want to add? Well, the young lady who's new to the call, we would love to hear from you if you got the audio now.
Yeah, I'm trying. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can everyone hear?
Can you state your name?
Can any? Yeah, my name is Shakti. My aunt.
Shakti. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, babe.
Well, I'm just honored to be here. You know, I'm really happy that I'm in a company of people who are trying to increase and better their health. It's amazing. I've been doing detoxes like this and cleansing for about 20 years. My husband and I, we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and our wedding, 21 days before our wedding, we did a 21 juice feast. That's how we started off our marriage, and we do it every year for our anniversary. So he did it this year with me, and we started about 2 weeks ago. He only did 10 days of the water fasting, which is great. It keeps our relationship together, but I've been kind of alone for the last 5 days. So I've been trying to get in the group. You know, it's great to have his support. But when you're doing it with someone, you can feel the presence when they're not there. So I was really looking to get into a group, but I had some difficulty. So now I'm here. Are y'all hear me?
Shakti, are you still there?
Yeah.
We can hear you now,
Yeah,
baby.
I am.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you heard anything I said.
We did.
Did y'all hear anything?
We heard you. Oh yeah, we heard you good. We heard you good. You know.
Okay, great. Well, I'm just saying that you know, I've been. This is like I think my day 13 of the water fasting, and I've been primarily doing. I started off with this is my first time doing it this long by myself. I haven't felt hungry. I still have to cook 2 full dinners, and I still serve food to homeless people, and I'm preparing a lot of food. I'm like one of those people who show my love through, you know, cooking. So it's been real difficult. It's been difficult, but it's not been as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I haven't wanted. I'm one of those people who get hungry and I want to hurt somebody. I don't know if you know if you ever get that hungry.
Yes.
But I lost some weight. But the reasons for me doing this is because I found out about a year ago I had some liver damage, and I felt like I had a near-death experience. I almost died, and my tongue swelled up in my mouth, and throat closed up, and I didn't realize that even being a vegetarian or a vegan for 20 years, you can still have things that you're in your health, something I did 20, 30 years ago. Now my liver is basically having a struggle. So this is why I'm detoxing, for health, for clarity, and also to strengthen my marriage. In the Black family, there's got to be somebody. We got to keep our marriages together. So that's kind of the reason why I'm detoxing, and that's the reason for my fast. But right now I'm finding myself in a position that I really need support. I support a lot of people, and I need support myself. That's it.
Shakti, I gotta tell you something. First of all, I'm so glad you joined the call. That means that I'm so glad you're here. You made a point earlier in what you just said. About a year ago, I stated that, this is a year ago, I said, man, I don't think people should, I think a great way to get married would be for the soon-to-be husband or the soon-to-be wife to both do a 40-day water fast together so they can go into that marriage with a purified bloodstream and really excel. And for you to tell me that you and your husband did 21 days on juice, I've never even known anybody to do that. 21 days on juice before you got married. That is awesome, because I think people should do 40 days on water before you can dream of getting married, so that you don't corrupt those bloodlines. That's a whole nother thing. Go ahead, Ron.
That is so. I'm sorry, but that is so on point, because really, you're when you marry somebody, whenever you come together with somebody, period, you're bringing with you good and bad and ugly. If you do a detox, I believe it gives you clarity and brings you closer to God. It doesn't matter what you believe in religion, but for me, I knew I was coming with a whole lot of stuff, from my past and from my parents and whatever. It's really important. I wanted to bring and start. I know as African people or African Americans in this country, we have so much against us. The one thing we have to have for ourselves, we have to have that clarity, and we had, I think, a spiritual union. My husband is completely, he's on board on it because of me, but he's glad that we came together, because he said he don't think he would even be here 10 years later, because he was a vegetarian, but he was one of those guys who would eat the gluten every day and not have anything green on his plate. But he was a carbitarian. We all were there. We were carbitarians. But I've seen so many people in the last 10 years, they are leaving this place. You can't just do the bare minimum no more. We have whatever you did before you start living this life. You got your, everything since we came to this country, all the food we ate. So, yeah, it's just one of the things I'm very passionate about. I don't think I would be able to be married right now to anybody if I didn't have my times that I detoxed, and, that brought us closer together. I would suggest this for anybody. If you were trying to get in a relationship or trying to find a mate, the same thing I did to strengthen our relationship is the same thing I did to get him. I fasted for 30 days before I even met him. I said, I'm going to give myself 5 years. I'm going to fast, and I'm going to meet my husband in at least 5 years. He knocked on my door 3 days after my fast was over.
No doubt.
He knocked on my door. I didn't even have to go and find him.
That's what happens.
I tell sisters that too.
Yep. Shakti, you're a woman after my own heart, because that's what happens. That's real talk. You fasted, and immediately afterwards, you got what you wanted, man. That's real. That's real. Thank you for sharing that. That was awesome.
Thank you for letting me share. Thank you for letting me share.
Absolutely. That's good, man. Me personally, I think, number one, if you're the president of the United States or an elected official like a politician, I think all politicians and all presidents should have to do a 40-day water fast before they can even go into office. That's number one. Number two, I think you should have to do on a 40-day before you get married, so that both of you guys can come in with a real clean slate, and so that it could be beautiful and abundant. And I know you know this already, but because I know it's like, a lot of people think I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan, I'm healthy, but a lot of vegans and vegetarians, they eat a lot of processed food and GMO foods, and they haven't really got that raw food, the raw there, and it's really all about life or death, or eating living foods. You know what I'm saying? So if people can start eating, just going to the raw and stay at a high raw or fully raw, that's really where it's at. And then with the fasting and the juicing and all that. But man, you added so much to the call, just like everybody else did, especially with the story about the 21 days and you and your husband and that whole thing. So that's real. That's real
I'm
talk.
so
Thank
honored. I
you.
feel like I found my clan. You don't know
Yeah,
how man, it feels so good to feel like you mine, because I don't have a lot of people around me. And before yesterday, I was about to give up. I
yeah.
was feeling really like, why am I fasting again? That's why you have to write down why you detoxing, because I knew everything. Like,
Yes.
just for being on the call, I got bumped off like 15 times before I was able to talk to y'all this morning. 15 times. But I didn't stop. I didn't give up yesterday, because all I know is all I need is just a little encouragement. I just need to see that people are doing what I'm doing, and I need to be reminded why I started.
No doubt.
Yesterday, I had total amnesia. I could not remember why I started the near-death experience. I forgot about my union with my husband. I'm cooking. Everybody's
Yeah.
eating. Friday fun night, we doing movies, and they doing popcorn. I'm like, why am I doing this again? I don't remember. You get amnesia when you get hungry. You get like straight amnesia. So I remember now, looking at all y'all faces, hearing your voices. The sister talking about her colonic. I'm getting a colonic this week, and I wish the lady would tell me. I'm like, I'm getting an attitude. Listen to Claire. I don't know if you're still there. I'm getting an attitude. I want to call your colonic therapist myself and get her straight. So it's like we need that support from each other.
I'm here, man. Yeah, for
We
real.
need that support. Otherwise, how we know? How do we know we got that authority? It's so much power in numbers. So I just feel grateful that y'all included me in the group, because the sister was suffering yesterday. I'm telling you, everything I know went out the window when that hunger pain come in.
Yep.
I made deep dish pizza. I'm from Chicago. I made deep dish pizza from scratch for my family, and I'm like, why am I doing this again?
Wow. Wow.
Like this, I was tripping. I was
I need that device to come in
tripping
handy.
on it. I'm glad. I need
My girl.
that support, man. You gotta thank y'all for letting me share. I don't want
Yes.
I don't want to say too much. I'm gonna to someone else, but I just really appreciate y'all. I really do. You don't even. Yeah, I understand.
Well, that's really interesting that you talk about you and your mate fasting together and stuff, because Queen of Fua talks about that in her first book. Can't remember the name of it, but it'll come to me. I think I have a little brain fog too, because my memory is like in and out. But Queen of Fua talks about before you lay down with your mate, the both of you should be fasting. So when
I'm
you
getting
bring
kicked
that
off.
when you bring that up, it's very similar to that conversation. What is Kristopher doing? Kristopher, where'd you go? Is he
I think
fighting
he
over
ran into a
there?
friend.
I apologize. Look, it was more than a friend. It was an ex. But that's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I just have a question to ask Van. Van, are you in your closet? Because I see a whole rack of clothes behind you.
No, actually, I hang up my dress shirts to dry, so that's what I don't dry them. So that's funny. Yeah, no, it's not. I wish my closet was this big, but no, it's my kitchen, and I
Okay.
have like ridges, so I'm able to hang up wet clothes. But I wanted to thank the young lady, Shakti, for sharing that because I learned that in my about fasting before having a baby. But now you said that you and your hubby did that before your wedding. So when I get married, I want to implement the same thing, and also before a planned pregnancy. But like I said, I'm going to be eating right anyway, so I probably don't have to initially do an initial fast for that. But yeah, that's so what a bonding experience that must be. That's really great. I appreciate that.
Hey guys, back. Thanks, man, for that. God, there's got to be a lot of love because we've actually gone way over the time, but it doesn't feel like it. This has been such, a refeeding for us and a support system. So if anybody got anything else to say, please, go for it and add it, or we can get ready to disperse, or whatever you guys want to do. Anything else? Anybody want to add? Doc, Sky, Claire, Kev, anybody?
Hey, I mean, well, since you asked, I got a scripture I'd like to share.
Please, Kevin. Yes, go for it, baby.
Give me a second. Let me find it.
You're the scripture man.
Yeah, I got all my scriptures highlighted, so it won't be hard to find.
Okay, baby.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay, I got it. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Ooh.
And that's it.
That totally relates to what we're doing. That's good, Kevin. Can you give us the joint?
Yeah. I just closed it again. I got it right here though. Yeah, it is Romans chapter 8 verse 18.
Oh wow, Romans 8:18. Thank you so much. Funny. There's that new beginning again.
Yep.
Wow. There's a lot of truth in that, baby. What we're going through now is easy and it's short term.
And
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's not worthy to be compared.
It can't. It's so many.
Supposedly, we're not even. Supposedly, like it's gonna be so good, like we're not even gonna remember this.
That's exactly what's gonna happen, Kevin. I'm trying to convey that as much as I can. The prize is gonna be so great. It's not even funny, and so it really is. Thank you so much for that, baby. That was really the perfect scripture. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. Out of the.
I had a thought about that when he said, when we come on the other side, the prize is so great, you won't even remember. The only thing that I can compare that to is, as a woman, when you're pregnant and you're in labor, labor is a very intense experience, and there is blood, sweat, and for you to have, a baby. And, a lot of women will tell you that when, after you have the baby, you don't, not that you don't remember that you went through the contractions and all that stuff, but the whole suffering of it, you don't even remember it because having that baby is so awesome and it's so great, and you're looking at it and they're so cute and you love them so much. And this is kind of the experience that we're going through right now. We're going through the labor pains and everything to get, to birth, really what equals our destiny. So yeah, that was good, Kev. Thanks.
Yeah, man, that's where I get my messages from. I do a lot of reading.
Wow. That's real talk. All leaders are readers, Kev. Always remember that, baby. All leaders are readers. You can't.
And it's not like I'm writing this stuff down and saying it's, like this is just like showing up in my face, like almost like it's meant to, and I'm just sharing it.
Yeah, that's real talk.
I totally agree with what Monique was saying just now, and thank you, Kevin, for the reading and the blessing. That's awesome, man. Like for real. I reckon on that topic as a woman, like, I actually haven't myself had children as yet or whatnot, but that cycle, you know what I'm talking about? That cycle, I mean, maybe the women at the moment know what I'm talking about, but also maybe the men too, in a different sense, is like, it's like giving birth every time, Anyway, I just want to add that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny. Hey, Claire, thank you so much. But no, that was a great analogy that Monique had shared with regard to laboring, because that's exactly what we're doing. This is what we're doing is called a fasting labor. It's actually the highest labor with the reason why so many people do this is because it's the real labor, and the rewards are so great, they're really great. This fasting labor is going to yield so much harvest. You ever heard, a wise man once said, truly the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. What that means is that what's few are the laborers, the fasting laborers, people who are willing to do an extended water fast for 21 or more days, so that they can tap into the harvest of the universe. Because until you create a vacuum big enough that qualifies to be filled by God or the universe or source, you'll never be filled. It'll be like that chocolate bunny that we talk about. So that's real. That's real, guys. And Monique, that was a heck of an analogy with regard to the pregnancy and the labor. And you go through all that pain, and then the baby's on the other side, and you forget about the pain. And then Claire came in and added, and I appreciate that, baby. You're right. You're absolutely right. Rasta Claire added to the scenario. Baby, listen, you the longest questionless person I've ever known, but you're a stud. You are flat out beef. Claire?
It's so good. It's so good.
No, I mean that in the respect. I'm just loving on you. I'm just bugging out. It's all good. I love it. So no, thank you, Claire. Thank you, my girl.
Peace.
No doubt. Peace. Rasta Claire. And if anybody got anything else to add, go for it, please.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say is, what are your views on fasting beyond 40 days? Because I've heard of some people, like say Dr. Phil Valentine, when he talks about a fast that he did in his younger days. He fasted for like 6 days.
That's it.
He used to see spirits, and he used to have clairvoyance beyond measure, and he went through a lot of, he had a lot of incredible insights that was downloaded into him from the universe. What are your views on it? Because one day I wouldn't mind going beyond 40, maybe like 50 or 60 something days. If I believe I could do it, but I would like. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, that's a good question. I've known people to do the 49-day fast, to do the 7 sevens on water. You know what, man? Wow. That would be, I guess that's a part that really takes you into breatharianism, and so
yeah,
I can't say that I'm against it, because I think on many levels a lot of us are going to get to that point, especially if you're uptaking oxygen and you just don't have that desire for solid food. You're pretty much living off the prana and more hydrogen. So, if so I'm with it. I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'll take the 40 and I'm straight for right now. But yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, Chris, I couldn't hear the question.
Well, what Ben was saying is that, what is my opinion on going beyond the 40 days? Because he's read and some people that's done the 60 days or beyond, or 50-day fast on water, and he just wanted to know what was my opinion with regard to going beyond the 40 days. So that was pretty much.
I can share about that. In regards to, I guess you could say the old style of the way, like, I can't remember his name because my memory, but the way they used to fast people is they used to fast people until their feeling of true hunger came back, which was an urge in the back of their throat, from what I've read. And it wasn't a 30 or a 40-day fast or a 21 or a 5-day or anything. It was you fast until your body tells you the fast is complete. And it could go on, especially if you're bigger, if you have more fat on you, you could probably fast on water for like 90 days because you have enough reserves. If you're smaller, then not as long. But how I was introduced to fasting was I had my restaurant in Baltimore, and this guy would come in almost every day for lunch. He was a construction worker. He was a white guy. He was a biker guy, and he was, he had that leather biker look. Well, later on, I found out that he wasn't even wearing leather because he was vegan, and he was an animal rights guy. So he was wearing fake leather, but he had the look. He had the bandana on, the beard, everything. So, and he was very friendly. His wife would come in and everything. So one day he came in and he looked rather thin. And I said, "What's going on with you? You look like you lost some weight there." And he said, "Well, I'm fasting." And I said, "Fasting? What is that? Juicing?" And he said, "No, I'm just drinking water. And I've been doing it for he was probably on 30 days by then." And I said, "Well, what are you doing it for?" And he said, "Well, I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm trying to heal myself of the big C," which he meant cancer. And I said, "Wow, so how long are you going for?" And he said, "Until my body tells me to stop." And then that was the end of that conversation or whatever. And then later on I saw him. He had gained a little bit of weight back. And we went back into the conversation. I said, "So how did it work? What happened? How long did it last, etc.?" And he said he went for 62 days. And when he was finished with his fast, when hunger came back to him, which means, technically it means your body has depleted its fat reserves and now is starting to go into consuming your muscle, which is considered starvation. So when his fast was complete, he went into, he stopped and he just, he refeeded himself properly and everything, and the cancer was completely gone. He had no cancer in his body whatsoever. So that was all I had to hear. So from there, I started reading and finding out about fasting and what have you. And naturally, if you have cancer, you can't do it at a later stage because the body is wasting anyway. But if you catch it early enough, you can fast cancer out of you, which is what he did on his own. So that was his testimony, and that was enough for me. So he just went for as long as he could. So you can go longer, but for a general fast like what we're doing, I think 21 days is sufficient. But if you have serious medical situations that you want to turn around, then I would find a place to go to do an extended fast and to clear out whatever it is that's going on in your body.
Very well said. That was good. That was good.
Well put.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Scott, that was.
Yeah, I've heard of similar stories, so I think that's exciting. I'm glad you shared that story. I know of another case where a guy went 100 days and same thing, he became cancer free. But I was also going to ask, did people weigh themselves after the first week? Did you kind of come up with the final numbers for the first week?
Yeah, good. You know what, Doc? I didn't weigh myself, but that's a good question. Maybe Sky or the ladies, or I don't.
No, I haven't weighed myself. Sorry. No, I haven't weighed myself either.
I did after day 4, and I was 22 pounds down from the last time I weighed myself before the fast. And then, I wrote this on Facebook too, and I know Sky saw that 2 days later, on day 6. But that was the day that I was up and going and going and going and going. I was up 13 more pounds. And so it was basically water retention. And the next day, which was yesterday, I was in the bathroom pretty much all day. So all of that water was coming out. All of it was just coming out. So I haven't weighed myself yet. So yeah.
Thanks for that, Monique. Doc, I may, at the end
All
of
right,
this,
wrap it up.
yeah. Okay, baby. Guys, listen. Congratulations for beating it this far. We have done 1 week, and that's really good. This is the start of a new week. We just got 2 more to go. Thanks again, Shakti, for joining the call and for sharing, part of your journey and for where you are. Let's just go out and make it a great day. And stay focused and enjoy. Take one day at a time. Stay focused. And we got all the support we need, guys, on Facebook. We can all sort of reach out to each other. Be blessed and have a great day. Unless anybody got anything else to add, this meeting is adjourned. Be blessed. Take care.
Hey, bye. See you later.
All right. Hey, Doc, it's good to see you again, baby. Take care, Marcus.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, baby. Bye, Claire. Bye, Sky.
Sister Sky,
Bye,
can you hear
Sean.
me?
Yeah, absolutely. Shakti.
If Sky is still, yes. Just I want to say thanks again for having me, everybody. And if there is another group, I'm kind of new to. I don't know what else is going on besides the actual call. If you can add me to anything else that might be going on for support, that'd be great.
You know what? I'm glad you asked because Sky has the group page is Sky's Wellness, but I think it's a closed page. Sky, how would Shakti get in that on the page, dear? Or is it open?
She should get an email with the information to join.
She said she tried, but she never got the email.
Okay, well, Shaki, just message me and I'll give you the info.
All right, sis.
Thanks, Sky.
Thanks.
Thanks. Okay, guys. Take care.
Bless. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. You too. See you guys tomorrow. Stay strong. Stay strong. Man, take care, baby. Keep beasting, baby. Bye, team.